I want to cut my foot off, and that usually takes people back a little bit, so I thought I might do a vlog about it because I get a lot of questions, and I just kind of thought it might be good to keep a video diary, I guess, of my journey. So I had a dirt bike accident almost 2 years ago. I crushed the tib and fib in both of my ankles. I landed short on a jump, so they just kind of smooshed on the pegs when I landed, and my ankles like hyperdorsiflexed. So pro tip from me to any beginners is to stick to tabletops, not doubles. I learned it the hard way for all of us, it's fun. So anyway, it's been about 1.5 years. I have had really good improvement on my left, so I had pylon fractures. Really good improvement on my left foot, so yay. Right foot, not so much. Really not so much. Poor thing. I'll put some x-rays up, my first video, so like maybe here, or the whole screen. So those x-rays are the right foot, and I'll put some up showing the right versus the left. Basically, I don't have any joint space left, so they smooshed, and the fib, the big bone in your foot, it sits on top of my foot. So I can plantar flex, which is pointing your feet down, but dorsiflexing, which is pulling your like foot to face, I have maximum 1 degree when I bend my knee to push it, and that is a very painful 1 degree. So it's not really going well. I can't improve that. At the end of the day, like sucko, but you can't create joint space. So I get asked all the time, why don't I get an ankle replacement? Which is a fair question, I understand. However, if I could, I would. They don't do them. Sorry, they do a lot. They do ankle replacements, they're not good. Ankle replacements you get a few years out of them, maximum if you're an inactive person. So like an oldie getting an ankle replacement for arthritis, a couple of years, and then you can only get one in a lifetime, where like hips and knees, you can get multiple in a lifetime and they last 10 plus years. Ankles, the technology's not there. So people ask me, why don't I just wait? And why don't I wait for stem cells? I appreciate that stem cell research is coming along. I appreciate that medical advancements are being made all the time. However, medical advancements are being made all the time, but are they available and affordable in hospitals for the everyday Joe? No. So, quick example is that people die on waiting lists every day for hearts and lungs, when we could grow you your own heart and lung. We could clone you your own heart and lung. Do we? No. Do people die on waiting lists for donors? Yes. The technology's too expensive. There's a whole lot of red tape around it. It's not, I could wait 20 years in the hopes that stem cells even are able to fix the issue, and then it still not be affordable and available to the everyday public. So waiting on stem cells, not an option. So the two options that I have are I fuse the ankle joint or I amputate below the knee. My surgeon obviously wants me to fuse the ankle because they see not fusing it as missing a step, which I understand, because you can amputate a fused ankle but you can't grow back the amputated foot. So I understand that. Fusions, I do not think are the right choice for me. I have spoken with a lot, shit tons of people with fusions, shit tons of people with prosthetic legs. Basically, I have concerns about the fusion. If I am active, a lot of them are done on older people for arthritis, and I have arthritis, and pain is getting worse. So I'm at about, probably used to be at about a 2.5 to 3 every day, like if I'm on my foot, on the right foot. Now the arthritis is getting worse. I would be at least at a 4 out of 10 every day when my foot's on the ground. I'm not on painkillers. I do take a double dose of really good arthritis medication, but I really don't find that it makes a really big difference for me. So that's where I'm at pain-wise, and my function is abysmal right now. Basically, I don't walk around the grocery store unless I have my brace on, which is this bad boy. So I'm talking about a little ankle brace. this. Beautiful piece of technology. I will not do the grocery shopping without this. So that's where my foot's at. The thought of having to walk around a grocery store without this, like, I cannot do it. So Fusions. A lot are on older people, like I said. A lot are not that active, so Fusions last longer. Fusions in young people who want to be active, big concern. So you're taking away a lot of my function. You literally cut off the tib and fib and you screw it into the foot, so you lose the joint completely. You're just stuck at 90 degrees. So you're taking away function, which is like, sounds pretty shit. But the body naturally adapts. So the mid-foot bones, here but in your foot, they start to adapt because your ankle's not moving. They start to move more, so they spread out more. They start taking the weight in a different way, in a way that they're not designed to and they're not supposed to. In a matter of time, when you're trying to be active on it, the midfoot will then start to break down, and it will also need a fusion, which means that you lose all of your function. There's not really a solid answer on when, but I've spoken with physios, prosthetists, podiatrists, blah, blah, blah. And basically, if I get a fusion, it is a year recovery. Fusions are a huge surgery. I think they're made to seem a little less full on because the next step is, the only other option is to cut the foot off. So obviously, I think they play down the fusion, but that is a huge surgery in itself. So that's another like massive surgery. 3 months off your foot, a year recover, like it is a big surgery. And then have it, and then in a couple of years, the foot breaks down painfully over those years as the bones start to disintegrate and you start to get all other issues in your foot. And then when it breaks down, I then get the below knee amputation. So it is a step, but in my eyes, it's a step that is literally just marking time. So we're doing it because you have to, and then in a couple of years, we'll just end up cutting it off anyway. And in that time, you won't get to be active. So the people I've spoken to, I will admit that I've spoken to a few fusion patients that run. Majority that I've spoken to do not. They think that they're active because they get to walk the dog or go to the park with the kids. But it's all relative. If that's what you think is active, then that is great and that is a good option for you. That is not what I want to do though. I want to surf, and the silver lining of this accident is that I realized all the things that I wanted to do someday, and I kept pushing off because I just do it whenever. I'll do it someday. Someday might not come. The last almost 2 years, my life's just been on hold. I've been marking time. I'm not doing anything. When I do it to struggle, I walk around the grocery stores hard. It's just been marking time, and I'm not willing to mark more time. And the silver lining is that all those things that I said I would do one day, I realized how important they are because they got taken away from me. Prosthetic leg is gonna let me travel, and quickly. Like if all goes to plan, like knock on wood, there's no infections and the wound heals quickly, I'll be up on a foot. I could be up on a test prosthetic in 8 weeks. And I can start getting my life back together and start doing stuff. I want like mobility, activity. I just want to live. I could be like, I sound really wanky and I'm sorry for that, but I could be dead in a year. I could be dead in 2 years. Like, I could be dead before I get the chance to use a foot again. I could be dead before I have the function to travel or to do anything that I want to do. Life is too damn short. And I've spoken to a lot of people, a lot of amputees who waited and waited and waited and waited, who had surgery after surgery after surgery, waited decades before they got a foot cut off, finally did, and now they're friggin' living. Like, I think it is unacceptable to wait any longer because life is too damn short. In saying that, I am under no impression whatsoever that I think getting an amputation is going to be a walk in the park. No pun intended. I don't think that it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy to go into hospital and know that I'm coming out without a foot. I know that it is a lifetime. I am asking for a lifetime of struggles. I'm also asking for that with a fused foot, and I currently now have a permanent disability in my leg. So all options are going to be a permanent disability. All options are going to have a lot. I understand that it's going to be hard. I've done enough research and spoken to enough amputees to know what I'm up for, but everything's going to be a struggle. And if a prosthetic means that I get a taste of life again, and I have to take some struggles along with it, then that is fine by me. So I've probably glossed over a few things, I'm sure, but that kind of comes down to the why of it. Foot doesn't work, so why keep it? Some people think I'm nuts, and I totally get that. I understand it. I understand that people think I am crazy. I have spoken to quite a few people with fractures like mine, and they think I'm nuts. But on the flip side, I think they're nuts for having 5 and 6 surgeries and 7 surgeries and still not doing what someone with a baloney amputation does. Still not running, still not rock climbing and surfing and running in the friggin' sand and climbing a mountain, and like, they're not doing what people with prosthetic legs do. And I can't see how I could make the decision to have less activity, more surgery bills. I don't make that connection in my brain. Just like they don't make the connection to cut off a foot. I'm good at taking emotion out as much as I can and making it practical. People have said to me, I can't do it. Like, I couldn't do it. And I have the pylon fractures, and people with the same fractures who say, I can't do it. I can't lose my foot. It's my foot. I can't lose it. I can't cut it off. It's my foot. And I'm like, okay, but it's not really your foot because it doesn't work. It's just there. Mine's here and it looks normal, but is it fit for purpose? No. So why am I keeping it? Does it work? No. Does it do what I want it to do? No. Is it a struggle every day? Yes. Does it hurt? Yes. Will I do more? And is a prosthetic more fit for purpose? Yes. That's all I need to know. Robotic feet. They are freaking incredible nowadays, honestly. They've been around for a long time. Some that just dorsiflex and plantar flex. So when you walk down a hill, you meet it with your heel, and then your foot comes down to meet the ground. They do that. But now they have ones that actually propel you, which means that they calf raise. So you walk, put your heel on the ground, it comes down to meet the ground, and then it actually has enough power in this ankle to calf raise you up, which means that your gait, like your walking pattern, is the same as it used to be as a normal foot, or almost exactly the same as a normal foot. Arguably, these microprocessor ankles work in some ways better than my good left foot that I'm keeping. I can actually buy a new foot and ankle that works better than the one I'm keeping. And doing that takes a lot of pressure off the knees, the hips, the residual limb itself, because the body's working like it's supposed to work. And that, when I first saw a video of those, I honestly nearly cried, like I can buy a fucking foot. For me, my brain doesn't make the connection that I need to keep it because it's a foot. It doesn't work. So I don't have that. I don't have that. It's not the way my brain works. And life's too damn short to spend, for me, you do what's right for you. And for me, life is too damn short to wait a year. A year is too damn long. I'm not waiting another year, not living. Life's too short. I could die before I get the chance to do anything that I want to do. So I'm not waiting 10 years. I'm not waiting 5 years. And I'm not going to keep a foot that doesn't work. And that's going to risk my other joints, fuse it and keep it, and my other joints are at a bigger risk. It's not an easy decision. Although I can talk about it openly, it's not easy. Although I feel like I'm pretty good at taking the emotion out of it. I know it's not going to be easy, and I know there's going to be battles and it's going to be difficult, but I feel people say it's a hard decision, but I've never felt more right about something. I've never experienced this feeling of going, it's right for me. And I'm really lucky. My family supports me. My mom, my brother are like just super, super supportive about it. And I'm very lucky that my surgeon, although he says I'm missing a step and that I need to get a fusion first, and then amputate, at the end of the day, he said that he won't abandon me and that it's my decision. So that support from a surgeon is massive. Like, there are people who spend decades trying to find that support from a surgeon, and I'm very, very lucky to have that. So I see him in a month. Time's ticking. I see him in a month, and we have our really big chat. We've already had a few talks, but this is our really big chat where he sits down and he lays out all of his concerns, and I lay out all of mine, and we pretty much just get the ball rolling.